Recording in progress.
All right. Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing this beautiful night? Tonight is, I don't know if I told the date, but it's the night after November 30th, 2025. This is the night after Sunday, November 30th, 2025. This is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation tonight. We don't have a title just yet, but maybe by the end of this we'll have one. But we've been having a conversation, mainly me and G1. This is open conversation, so we've been having a conversation tonight, mostly about mastery, mostly like mastery of self, mastery of information, learning where, what, and who the creator is, might as well say, according to conversation. And G1 played a small portion of something that he wanted me to hear about this guy speaking on well, I just say speaking on Revelations 3 and 9, and we our conversations kind of picked up from there, from that point. And I first started off by I like to give a recap. I started off first when my brother Barack, he was on here a little earlier, and he shared about this sister named Sister Kia Pruitt on which is on Rumble. She used to be on YouTube, but they kicked her off several times because she put knowledge out there. You know, she put knowledge out there, and I was saying that the creator, I went into sharing what was shared yesterday when G1 asked me a question about the 144,000. So I went into the scriptures and shared about the 144,000 yesterday, and those are the ones who the creator has anointed. And that's another thing I want to say. I'm glad that hit me. Who the creator has anointed to share the information of his word throughout the earth, right? So after that, G1 came in. He came in after I was sharing that information about that. And then G1 shared the information he wanted me to hear about this guy sharing the information about, I guess, I didn't hear the 144,000 part, but I did hear the part about the Jews. And he was saying that, to be Jew is to be inward Jew. But it was things, and we got on the conversation from there because it was things that I did not hear him speak of that is according to prophecy, that's according to scripture, that's supposed to happen. And that was my take on the same information. We got off of that and we talked about other things around that. So we're back now. And I was the last thing we really was talking about was prophecy. So I was asking with G1 about prophecy, and he said that if you say I would let him say, but I can repeat what he said. He kind of said just like if he had a dream about 9/11 the night before, and he said it's going to happen, and it happened, that was like he prophesied, right? So, and I'm saying, well, if there's prophecy going on in the Bible, repeat what you said on that point. If it was prophesied in the Bible, something was going to happen, you said that they could write it out or they could make it happen. How did you say that? G1? I don't want to put words in your mouth. That's why I want you to say how.
Yeah, I started playing my period. What you say? What happened?
Yeah, when you talked about prophecy in the Bible, when I asked you, when I explained, I think I explained it correctly. You said if you had a dream about 9/11 was going to happen, and you told them, man, there's two planes that ran into the building, and the buildings came down.
Example of like my example was like how I would see a prophecy, like what you doing? Yeah, that would be my example of a prophecy. But one of them, but like more realistic for example is a prediction or something. You know what I mean? Like making a distinct prediction
That something was going to happen in the future.
that something's gonna happen and like it happens. You know what I mean? That's another form of prophecy. That's also, matter of fact, while we since we on that word, let me just
wait before you go on, because I want to ask you. So then, what I'm asking you is, so you're saying the prophecies in the Bible are not true, that they making these things happen?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. Because that's what I was trying to figure out. That's the reason why I asked you about it. And you said, well, they can.
Just say this. word prophecy is just to say that a thing will happen in the future.
That's what a prophecy is.
That's straight. So the word prophecy only simply means say that a specific thing will happen in the future.
Right.
That's what word prophecy means. That's it. There's
I got you.
Nothing holy about it. Anybody can say something about a specific thing that will happen in the future. It has nothing to do. You can call the lottery number. That's a, if you want, being real about it, that's a prophecy. If you say tonight's number 555 is gonna come out and you play it and then it hits, you prophesize the number.
Right. You said that was gonna happen in the future. Right.
That's something that was gonna happen. Exactly. So it's that's
what?
Nothing mysterious. Like you don't have to be like I mean it does take something. It takes something special to do that. Like in order for you to just be that in tune in that alignment, especially to call a number out and just be like I got a friend that's really one of my righteous brothers. He great at that. He be hitting me every day. I'm like, yo, bro, is this your superpower or something? I'm like, you in alignment, you on the road, because he does this like at will. Like, I mean, and he hitting for 2,000, 5,000, like not little numbers. Like he's hitting. He puts $50 down on a number and he hits them like at will. Like, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, so that's a form of prophecy, and this is from somebody that I know physically for real that does this. Like,
right. So that's in numbers. Have he given you anything that's going to happen like in today's time that's going to happen like to a people? What's going to happen at a certain?
I wouldn't say for him. No, that's not his.
Right.
That's not how we build, and we don't deal with each other on that type of
stuff. Right.
As far as like someone else might be able to do stuff like that.
Right. And
what do they say? Nostradamus, so called.
Right. Exactly. So what and how we got off on that conversation was about the guy that you said that you had played, and he was talking about
it was the whole point of that was just to show how some people are claiming they this type of Jew. I'm a Jew. But the whole thing was he brought up the synagogue of Satan and how saying that a lot of these people would be claiming that they're Jews, but they're gonna end up worshiping at the feet of the real ones who he said was basically those who practice inwardly, and not necessarily saying that in order when you practice word inwardly you're a Jew. He's just saying that for those who are running with this whole
narrative
of I'm a Jew or this nationality or this because I wear the Jew shirt or I'm this person, Nah, that's not what makes it. He's saying what counts is what's inwardly, whether you are practicing the divine word inwardly light.
There you go. Now, I'm with you 100% there.
Yeah, and so that's the way I'm taking what he's saying. That's the way that it rang off to me. That's the way it struck out to me. But yeah, how we got into the prophecy talk was basically, we was talking about the Bible, and I was saying how because Bible means books is just stories. So Bible is just a book of stories because each chapter is dealing with different stories, different people. So what I was saying about as a prophecy is that, as far as in those senses, is that we wasn't there in those times. I didn't live in the time of these people, so I couldn't say that what they put in there happened based on them prophesying, even though I'm not going to just say it didn't happen either. I'm just saying that I'm using critical thinking. When I look at it, I'm not just taking it on face value that it's a prophecy. Because a lot of this stuff, people have been saying since I was, I don't know, in late 90s, that certain things in Revelation, every time, the year 2000 coming, it's the end of Revelation,
But even though they were saying that though, bro, even though was they prophesizing that or they was just saying that?
I mean, they saying this according to what they reading, because obviously they ain't the ones prophesying.
This is what I'm getting at.
They saying based on what they reading in Revelation, this is the time of Revelations, and they want to say, yeah, this is the end days, this is Revelations, and obviously it's not, because now we in 2025.
No, what that. It all depends on how you take what they're saying, because we're living in Revelations now, but they can't prove and
say stuff like that since, like I said, since the late 90s when Y2K was in 2012, and every time something, it seemed like we had this apocalyptic ending. people start bringing up Revelations. So it's like we always in Revelations. If that's the case,
we have been. We've been in Revelation
for a long time. Like because people have been saying it before I was born. I'm sure it was people in my mother's in the '60s who might say, "Yeah, these is Revelations," and I'm saying I could already hear they probably, and I probably could pull up some old church sermons or something. Old Islamic sermons.
But you have to understand what's being said. We are in Revelations. Revelations is a timing. That's all it is. Revelations only means to reveal the time you're in. We are in Revelations. We're living it now. We're living in the things that was said that was going to happen, that was prophesied that was going to happen. We're living in, huh?
Agreeing with that as far as like saying like, yeah, a lot of these things that they saying in Revelations, you could look around and see that, yeah, this is what's going on.
Now that's the difference. But when it comes to speaking about certain specific things, when it talked about the mark of the beast, when it talked about the mark, when it talked about the name and the number, this was written long before where we at today. It was talking about what was going to happen. That name is your name in all caps. The number, you can't buy or sell without them in this day and time. The New World Order started in 1933. Between 1913 and 1933 was the real New World Order. That's when the New World Order actually started. A lot of people can't see it. They thinking it's still going to come. They live in it. They inside of it. That's Revelations right now. They live in it. They don't see it because they don't understand it. They still think, well, AI, that's just another added point of the New World Order. That's just, ever since then, everything's been added up. It's still going on. Like you said, we're in Revelations now. We're in it. But that was prophesied. That was prophesied to happen. And the only thing that I was saying, that when you're saying that these are books, even though they're books, no different than you said, like if you let's just say you'd had a dream about 9/11 in 2020. But in your mind, it was like, okay, I gotta write this down. Man, Twin Towers gonna get hit by two planes and they're gonna come down. And listen, and you write it down. In 2020,
they happened in 2001. That would be after.
No, I meant 2000. I meant 2000. I said 2020. I meant 2000. You write it down in 2000 and you write it in the book. In 2000, you wrote it down and said, or 1999. Yeah, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And it's going, the two planes going to run into it. It's going to happen. You wrote it in the book. A year before, this 2000. I said 2020. 2000. 2001. Bam, it happens. You still written it down.
Okay, what about this then? Check this out. What about what they say, what we going through? You hear a lot of people say, they setting us up, they preparing us when they have what's called predictive programming. They put out a movie that's gonna have some stuff that's gonna happen in the future, or supposedly happen in the future, but really they're gonna make it happen in the future. It ain't because it was gonna pass, it's because they're gonna make it happen. So it's like, what about if they was just reading the Bible and say, you know what, yeah, maybe this ain't gonna happen, but we're gonna make it happen. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, how can they make it happen when people didn't even think of something like that? Like
that version of it too, you know what I mean?
Right, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm asking you is this. The stuff that was written was so long ago to the point that the stuff and technology of today wasn't even in that time. So how can they think of something and they could describe it in what was given to them in their mind, like fire coming down from the sky? In the beginning of the Roman Empire, how they gonna think of atomic bombs or tanks? That's in the book.
Well, remember, they say you see stuff like airplanes on the Egyptian, gold statues of airplanes.
Yeah, I remember they show witch carved of it.
So we say that they didn't have these types of
things. No, I'm talking about. Okay, we seen that, but we never seen and heard anything about. They never said anything like that about bombs and stuff. They seen the airplanes.
Do they tell us everything? That might be some of the knowledge that's not going to be revealed.
It could be, and we said could. We still going with could. It could have been a vision of one of them to put it on there too.
Well, that's why I said it's critical thinking when you look at both sides and you just analyze both. You have to. It's called a theory. When you take into analysis of everything to test it, when you testing your theories out to see what works and what isn't real about everything that you're dealing with.
I understand, but we still going with if and coulda and woulda. My main thing is, but what I'm saying is this.
Because we haven't went and searched on our own to go and prove any of these people was around. We don't have the power to go over to these. We haven't traveled over to these lands and did the research. This is someone who gave us the research. So if that's the case, we are definitely dealing with what if, because we didn't do any research other than.
But the point I'm getting at is they definitely put it in the book and said it was going to happen. But this is what I'm getting at.
Predictive programming. This could be some Roman Empire predictive program. That could be part of like how they make a movie. Back then, books was the movies. Like I don't, you know what I mean? It's a story, right? So stories are used to teach a principle or moral. It's a point to it. Remember, I told you, it's not no story without a point to it. It's no just.
So you said everything that happened, man did it.
No, that's not.
No, I'm asking.
Well, make sure that it's understood. It's a question. Nah, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying think about it in all ways.
Right. Okay. In my thoughts and what I come to understand, well, I guess what it is, I went through my spiritual awakening, so I guess what it is that.
I mean, you got your way of looking at it.
No. What I'm sharing is this.
Bro, you was formulated in a certain way. Your life went in a certain direction.
There you go.
You've been through enough things to see things in a way that you see.
That's true.
That's what wires our brain, bro. Like when we go through certain time periods, certain lifestyles, all of that wires our thinking to a certain way, bro.
Like, I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
So there's nothing wrong with it. I don't disagree. Just because I might not agree with everything.
Bruh, I'm with you. I know everybody ain't gonna be on the same page. Believe me, bruh. That's why we having our conversation.
That's why we supposed to sit down and read, because, like you said, two minds come together is better than one just trying to figure it out.
Right.
You might have a way to see things that you're not looking, and vice versa.
Exactly, and that's.
Same painting. We both looking at the same painting picture, but
we see it differently.
Something that I might not see or see it in a way that I don't see.
And I agree with you. So
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Bruh, that's the reason why we have our conversation. I don't disagree with nobody because the way they think. Everybody think their own way. We're not actually everybody going to think the way they want to think. Our job is to try to get an understanding of each other.
That's what the whole point of thinking is to come to get an understanding.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's why I'm conversating with you, open conversation.
All of that, yeah.
Some people, now you talk to some hardcore other people, they gonna say, well, he don't believe that, then they'll stay up, well, you a devil, me a devil, whatever.
They'll start to, like you said, doing all of that just because you might not be in 100% agreement. They start
with them. That's right.
And that's okay too, because some people, they stand on what it is to that degree. Okay, fine, all right. I'm not mad at it. If that's the way that's just, I know that's as far as I can go. As far as building with a certain person like that, we can only go so far in the conversation because you're I don't want to call it a bias, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Some people are just biased to their own beliefs only. They don't want to hear anything outside of what they think.
Then what they've come to know.
They don't. Oh, right. Yeah. No, I mean, no is subjective too, because some people, they might believe, you might, at one point in the world, the whole world thought the world was, they knew the world was flat. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people thought this was knowledge. Like, yes, we know the world is flat. So just because you say you know something doesn't even, what's the saying goes?
Don't mean you know.
The more I learn, the wise man knows that he knows nothing at all.
There you go.
So, right. That's why I don't just be like, yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, really, the wise person knows they don't know nothing at all. Because it's like things subject, what we think we know is always subject to, like, it might be more to it or a deeper part of it we didn't get or missed or something like that. So it's like, I don't just be like, yeah, I know everything I'm saying, I know 100%. Like, no, we don't. We just come to we comfortable with saying, yes, these are things that I stand on as I don't just believe in it, but and a lot of this stuff is fact you can prove. You know what I mean? Like 1+1 is 2. We can take these numbers and show this. That's something we can say. Yeah, we know this. 1+1 is 2. We know that.
Right. So I want to ask you something on some that what you know on this point. Cause I know, cause you kind of said it before we got back on. You said like about a sky god. So what is your definition of what you believe God, creator, however, what's your thoughts on the creator or on a universe? I don't know how to say it. How would you, what would
Like
you,
you said, the all, the Lord, the one and the all, the everything, all at once. The God, you know what I mean? That's in you. That's me. That's the spark. That's it. It's not a mystery. Like it's not like some invisible thing you can't see because it's a supreme being. God means supreme being. So for being means it has to exist. It can't just be something that don't exist. Like you know what I mean? So that's God is the supreme being.
so can you describe what you say God is? Because I'm still trying to understand when you say, and I just want to get it to understand it from your point of view. But because I know you say some sky god or some mystery god or whatever. I want to get your understanding of what your thoughts are on what you think. And I'm saying God because anything can be a God. So I'm saying God. I call the creator Yah, the Almighty, but I like saying the all of all, the universal consciousness. I like saying that because to me, universal consciousness is every and all things to
No,
me.
God is like you said, what you just said, any and all things of consciousness. That's part of the You can't even just put God into just one
That's
definition.
right.
As far as like it's how like Christianity and different religions and how you like praying to something like it's Santa Claus. Like you get what I'm saying? Something that
Right.
don't like
So why do you the definition sky god?
no, I mean that ain't what I called it. I think I heard you say that one time.
I don't say no. Well, I mean,
I heard you
I'm
say Sky Daddy. I heard other people say that too.
not me. You never heard me say that. I've heard other people.
Yeah, it's on the show. These shows are recorded.
What you're saying? You heard me call on the sky god.
No, I didn't. You take it. I said I heard you say that.
Oh yeah, I have mentioned that people have said that. Yeah, you're
Okay,
right.
bro. So that's all I said. Nobody. You putting claims on it that I didn't make. I didn't say I claimed that you pray to a Sky Daddy.
Okay, no, I was just asking. I'm just trying to get an understanding. That's why I'm talking.
Put a extra on it. I just said I heard you use the word, and you just admitted that you have used it, right?
Yeah, no, I used it in case, not in case, in saying that other people said. I've heard people on Facebook said it. I've heard people. I just heard people say the sky god or what have, and I always said universal consciousness.
All of that. These are different. Like you said, everything is consciousness, bro. Like all of this, the all in all, like you said, Allah. That's just all law. You know what I'm saying? The all. That's just the one. The all. You know what I'm saying? The creator.
I say now. I say creator, the all of all, the Almighty. Like I say, anything can be. People that worship water. They say water is God, huh?
Yeah, like you said, there's so many names you can't just put it under one thing. And like you said, God, that's really a German word.
Right. Actually, it comes from GOTT, Gott. That's where it comes from, and then they end up translated from Gott
just
to.
a variation of good. Good, the supreme being, like you said, is a good being, a good supreme being, like you know what I'm saying, supremely good being. That's all. So yeah, when you in this form, we living like that. We is gods, like you said. We not, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying like we can just create. We do create though. Everything you create is
We are the children of the Almighty, the all of alls.
like,
Yeah, we are creators.
like you said, we create life out of us. You had kids, I had.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where you know what I'm saying? The planet creates life on and on and on. The atom, everything that's in the universe is in me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Down to the cellular, you know what I'm saying?
All the way down to the atom itself.
The atoms, all of that, like you said. So I'm the universe, everything in it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it all comes from us, bro. Like everything you see that us around us come from the earth. When we die, where do we go? Where does this flesh go back to?
Back to the earth.
Earth, and like the energy in us, it can't be created nor destroyed. So when it's gone, it's gonna exist for infinite. You know what I'm saying? So you're part of it all. Like that's what I mean when I say that. Like,
Okay, so you saying the creator is the all of ours as well. You're not, so I don't know. I just
but it's
thought,
not the mystery. Like, yo, you're the looking for Santa Claus, something invisible, or some people might picture a big white man in the sky that's going like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how people look at it, but there's multiple ways that people probably don't understand that it's down to the level of it's really us.
yeah, I'm just trying. Yeah, I was just trying to get a better understanding of your thoughts because when I tried to explain according to this, even though you man, this thing, you yourself even agree that this is made of books, right? And
That's what the Bible literally translates to is
it's
books.
books, yeah.
The Bible means books.
I agree. I agree with you. But the point I'm getting at, by the Bible being made of books, do you believe that there's truth in these books?
Well, one, I don't remember. Like you and me, we don't use these words belief because belief is to be lied to.
Okay. Do you think truth is in these books?
I think, and I know it's truth in there.
Okay, that's why I'm just trying to get down because I'm just trying to get a better understanding because it seems like it seems to me. I'm just telling you what it seems like in this just our conversation. It seems like you don't really believe or not believe.
Believe it.
You don't think that any truth is in here because they're just books being made by man.
No, I ain't say that.
I ain't say I said that's my thoughts. I ain't say you saying it, but that's why I'm asking you questions to get a better understanding.
No, bro, I don't even know how you can have these thoughts when I already told you that the original man wrote and created the original Bibles. So
original Bible. Okay, I got you. I'm listening.
And so that if we is already connected to the Most High and man is shown that God and devil shows man through man, and these stories are from man, that's already telling you that yes, God can speak through man and devil can speak through the man in these stories.
There you go.
So I'm not saying like I don't understand how you.
No. I'm just getting a better understanding. No, it's just I guess my understanding on when I'm sharing with you, I say prophecies is in the book, and then to me, you're saying that these are just books, and I'm sharing with you that probably. Then you said man can make that because
the only reason I said they just books is because for one we can't test and go back and see who really wrote them. We don't have no research team. We haven't traveled to the lands and we going off what was given to us. So that's what I'm saying. That's face value. I cannot just accept something on face value. I would have to, like you said, if you want to be knowing for real, you would know, like, yes, I know who this and that person, they definitely live. I've done the research myself, not relied on National Geographic or some other entity to tell.
So if that's the case, we don't even live 100 years, right? So how you gonna come to the conclusion of the?
What'd you just say?
We don't live 100 years. I'm just saying.
Let me stop you. Hold on. I just met a sister last Sunday that I was volunteering with. I was at the Mother Gaston house doing voluntary archiving of her special collections into their library, and I was archiving with a lady whose mother was there with her, who was so alive at 102 years old.
I got you.
Was 80 years old and walked there by herself without her daughter. Came here, was in full motion, eating, talking.
I'm with you. Let me. I need to rephrase that. When I meant by we don't live to be 100, I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about the average overall, everybody growing them. Because I know that I've met a couple of 100 years old people. I'm talking about the average people.
My grandmother is 93, so I mean.
But I'm talking about the average. Right. What I'm talking about is the average. The average people mainly get up to anywhere 70, 80, sometimes 90. I'm not talking about just, like the very few people that make it. I'm talking about the average man don't make it to 100. So what I'm asking you is this.
A lot of men don't make it to these ages.
And this is what I'm getting at. So the point I'm getting, the reason I'm saying that is because you're saying that you're not relying on the information that's put in here.
It's because of their own fault, though. They doing a lot of things they shouldn't.
But that ain't the reason. The point I'm getting at is this: you said that you're not relying on the information from here because you want to know on what you need to know, and how much studying are you going to learn to know from the stuff that was said in time past or what's going on today to put yourself in the right alignment.
They call it parables, bro. I just look at it as like they parables and they have points. I get to the point. Because the whole reason, even if it was a true story, right? Even let's just say everything in there is true. All these people existed. Everything at the times they say happened in the time they happened. Let's just say all of it's true. It's still the whole point is it's a point to it. There's a moral to it. And so that's the whole real jewel of the reason. It doesn't matter if they existed or not to me. Because the real thing is that whether you get the point of the whole story, son, and that's it. And so when you get caught up into stuff like that, and whether it's true or do you believe it's true, the more important question is, do I get the moral and the understanding?
And there you go. So while you're saying that, I'm asking you about.
And there you go. Why you just didn't?
No. I'm saying there you go. What I'm talking about. So what I'm asking you is, if the Creator gave the law to his prophets and to Moses, you could say. I'm saying to Moses because that's what he was spoken to give the law. And if the law is there for us to abide by, do you agree or disagree to those books that was given by the Creator, that was given to Moses to give to the people?
This is common sense, bro. I'm not gonna kill somebody that's just for no reason, bro. Like you said, thou shalt not commit murder. Like, if there's no reason to just, like, if I'm not defending myself because you trying to kill me,
there you go.
To get you up off me because you literally on top of my body with a knife about to stab me, and I gotta just twist it back at you in order to keep you from killing me, then I mean, yeah, but that's obvious, bro. It's common. These are common sense.
Right.
That's not from you. I mean, these are common sense things, bro. Like, I think these, before even a person even need to read the Bible, like, these are things you understand about the 10 laws. Like, if I know this is your wife, your girl, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm with you.
And with her.
Now, the only thing I'm asking is that I'm glad, bro. You know, I'm glad you're saying that.
David did say he killed a man and he slept with another man's wife. He committed 2 of them. Like,
there you go. But okay, now the only thing I'm saying besides those 10, let's just say the Creator told us to eat certain things to keep our bodies clean. You know, like we're not supposed to eat pork, we're not supposed to eat catfish, and the dietary laws, and then a certain type of linen we're supposed to put on. See, this stuff a lot of people don't know. This is what I mean by going to study to find out the things that's there that people don't know about. That's the other point of view that I was getting at. You right, you 100% on point. What you just said. We know, like you said, that's the little light that we already have in us about not to murder nobody, not to mess around with somebody else's woman, lying on another person, taking somebody else's stuff. That's basic. But the other stuff that keeps our body clean and mind free and stuff like that is certain type of garments we're supposed to put on. We're not supposed to put certain type of garments on. We're supposed to have a certain dietary law, which a lot of people eat pork, and they say, well, just pray over it. That's what they gave to in the New Testament in those, like you said, those books that was given to us by the Romans. They say, Paul said we can just pray over it. That's not in the law, but that's what the world is doing. Certain type of, like I said, clothes we're supposed to put on. If they don't read it, they don't know it. A lot of other stuff. We ain't supposed to lay down with women when they're on their period. That talks about that in the law. A lot of people don't know that. See, that's what I'm saying. If we don't study the research and find out, how are we going to know if we don't research and find it out? So, yeah, you're right on the 10. But there's other laws that the Creator talked to the prophets.
What I'm saying, listen to what you're saying, bro. There's so many. Wait, hold on. Let me get some water. Hold on.
It tells you how long to be before you sleep back with after your woman have a baby. It's supposed to be so long before you lay back down with them. It talks about that. It talks about a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's a lot of key points that you gotta realize. But again, these are different factions. There's factions that was separate on top of all these religions. There's different denominations because, like you said, they disagree on different tenets or different things. Like you said, they go by different. Like there's the Coptic Church, then you got the Ethiopian Coptics. They have two different, similar, but there's differences. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So in that same situation, if the Creator said this and he gave this to the children of Israel and he told them to take this, and these other people, like you saying, the Ethiopians and whoever, the Nazis, whoever else, they're doing something else. But the Creator said, do this.
Christianity is ancient, it's Hebraic, it's mystical, it's pure, it's rooted in the Old Testament culture, you know, but it is blended with some New Testament revelation, and it's preserved outside of Roman or Byzantine control. So they are outside of the Roman control. So they are actually that, you know, like they're like no other form of.
Who is outside the Roman control?
Ethiopia. They was preserved outside of the Roman and Byzantine control.
Their culture?
Yes, outside of it. You know how.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
How Romans had control over how everything was.
I know exactly what you mean.
They wasn't under their control ever.
Let me ask you a question.
They the only place that was not colonized either.
Let me ask you a question. Do they have to have a traveler's permit, or do they get a birth certificate or either some type of ID?
That I gotta look into that. I gotta find
I
out.
can tell you the truth to that now. They do, because they can't even get over here. They can't even. I know a colony of them in Atlanta. I'm telling you what I know. I used to go to their food.
I've been trying to get to it's a church here in the Bronx. I've been wanting to go to, but they start at 7 a.m. to like 11 a.m. to 12 or something like that, just so I could go see if I could get a copy of their Bible.
Now, let me share something with you. I can share with you, no matter what, the scripture says and it's prophesied that Greek and Rome is going to take over the whole earth. And in one way, fashion, or form, they've been colonized. Not colonized, I can say colonized, but they have been taken over, because if they got a birth certificate, if they got a social security, if they got an ID card in order to travel, they're part of the Roman Empire. They're part of the Roman Empire, because you can't travel without Rome, which is anything in the 7 continents, traveling.
But they got their own, so Ethiopia, they had their own nations, their own kingdom. So it's like they have their own thing. It's not, it might look like it appear like it's something like, you know, like an ID or passport, but all it is up under their stuff. Like it ain't like under the system type, Roman system. It's just, you know, a form of, you know, document that they use. I mean, everybody at this point in the world uses some sort of document.
Right. I
live in a tribal, you know, some type of tribal forest tribe, something like that, you know, some tribe that ain't even been existed to the world yet. Now, them type of people definitely don't have no type of nothing, because they straight up have been untouched by man. And a lot of these National Geographics, when they come over here, they like killing them. They kill them. You know what I mean? There's a couple stories where I read, you know, they go over here to try to report on them and study these people, and they end up dead.
I heard about that on a couple people on a couple of islands.
Yeah. These are people that have never been what you call it, so-called domesticated and all of that. They still living.
They have their culture. What you said, they all have their culture.
Yeah. So they definitely ain't got no IDs, no none of that. So there's places they not gonna broadcast this much, but like you said, you go and do your studies and get into different things. You find out, you know, what different things is not everybody's living like you or I.
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what you're saying is they have their own culture. They haven't been colonized, just like some of the Muslims countries over there. When you bring Christianity over there, they kill them off. They're not letting them, because everybody have their own culture, and I agree with that. I'm not going against that. But also when it talks about that, just like iron will break and bruise, all these different things. That's the same thing that the Roman did. They commingled with these different nations. Now they didn't do like they did when they came over here and took the land from the people here, but they come amongst these different nations and do the things that they do, even though these nations still stand the same. Look at Africa. Africa is still supposed to be Africa, but they have been colonized and they still have been kind of commingling, even though they try to take their space back. A lot of them still commingle because they want to be a part of that dollar. But just being a part of the dollar, that's why it talks about church and state. They may still have their religion, but the state part is when they might be a part of the union of the state, but not a part of the religion. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that the fact that they have to deal with money and certain other aspects, they're part of the Roman government, especially the heads. Now, I'm not talking about the small.
Ethiopia is the only place in the world where ancient Judaism and ancient Christianity existed side by side for centuries, bro. And they was on some, Israel stuff way before Christianity even existed there, bro. Like,
I can understand that, but if they change from the law, because I listened, and it might not be what you heard, but what I heard, I listened to the information on YouTube that talking about they talk about the flight, or how the Ethiopian Bible came together. They talked about everything, but it came to a point that this one guy, and I heard the name before, I think it's in the Bible, but I heard the name before, because my wife asked, said, "You heard his name before?" I said, "I think I heard that name." She said, "Yeah," but she told me that, yes, they spoke on him or whatever. But he was confused at a certain point, and then it was somebody that came and told him Jesus was supposed to do this and that, and they said he believed it, and he took it and ran with it and put it in part of the Ethiopian Bible. Now that right there, that was the link that connected the Christianity part, as far as I'm concerned, on that point of view. Now that's what I heard according to the story and what they said according to that. And because like I say, when I know the scripture for what I know it is or what I know it from, I understand that. And if the Ethiopia, if they did that, if they have a man die for your sin, or if they have, I'm saying, not saying that's what they got because I don't know. But what I'm saying, if that's in there, that's where it got tainted at.
Well, Ethiopia, they stay isolated from European theological decisions because they was not part of the Council of Carthage, nor the Council of Nicaea, nor any Catholic Protestant debates, and any of that type of stuff like that.
They don't have to be to carry a story.
They also preserve Jewish Christian books, the early Christian writings. You know what I'm saying? They was considered sacred in ancient Israel. All of this, bro. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, I know. I think that I don't know if that's where they went into when they left Judah. I think it was in 70 AD, before 70 AD, or around that timing. When they left Judah, I think they went underground because they was being surrounded by the Romans, I believe, the Romans or the Greeks. And they went underground and they came up and they came out. I think it was Ethiopia or deep in the bush. I remember that. And like I said, I don't remember. I do know that
even Ethiopian Christianity survived Islamic expansion untouched. All of that, bro. Like, for real, bro. Like, there's Ethiopian monks that preserve books that disappeared everywhere else. Like, books that disappear everywhere else, the Ethiopian monks got them preserved, bro. So, like, I mean, you could listen to whoever you want to, but
no. They was talking about the Ethiopian information.
Yeah.
They was talking about the Ethiopian information. But
talk about it, but I don't know who they are that they just could talk about it.
Like I said, I don't know if the same thing that you call. I remember you were speaking on it once before. All I'm saying, what I did hear them speaking on.
The whole point I'm saying about who it is that you got to remember, like, who is the person that's talking about it? Are they qualified? What type of scholarly person? Like, what are they?
I can't say. I don't know.
So if you don't know that, then you can't really say if they trying to slant Ethiopia or if they.
Well, they was given a history. They was given the history of it, far as I know.
Quote a bunch of so-called quote other stuff and say they did the history, bro. Like, that don't mean that they was really or that, you know what I'm saying?
They was breaking down. All I can say, when they were breaking down the history, for what I knew, they got everything good up to a certain point. When they got to that certain point, that's where I heard the difference. So a lot of stuff that they,
Ethiopian? Were they Ethiopian?
huh?
Were they even Ethiopian?
I don't know if they were Ethiopian or not. He was telling the story about the Ethiopians, about the.
All into that is because one of my great grandfather who migrated from Ethiopia through to Detroit through Canada and married my this is my
So you Ethiopian heritage then, aren't you?
well, this is, I'm trying to break it down. This is just through, you know, you have multiple lines in your tree, right?
Yeah.
But I tell you, this is through my father's mother's mother and father. Yeah, so this would be my great grandfather. He came to Detroit through Canada. He migrated through Canada from Ethiopia. He was a Jewish rabbi. You know what I'm saying? From Canada, he had his own watch shop in Beverly Hills and in Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, he ended up marrying an Irish Jewish woman who was Irish. So he was, you know, dark skinned Ethiopian African brother, married Irish Jewish woman. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they had my grandmother's mother. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And, you know, they migrated to Detroit. But she lived in Canada for a long time over there in Ontario.
Okay.
My great grandma, she lived in Ontario. But that's her mother and father. You know what I'm saying? That I'm talking about. But yeah, he came from Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I'll be trying to like learn more, you know, in tune with that.
But that's good. That means that you know a part of your heritage. That's good.
Yeah, that's just one line though. That's just one because I still got my, you know, father's father, my mother's father, my mother's mother, you know, and they mothers and fathers, you know. So the lines go. The more you go back, the more lines of that you have to study. Like so, you know, you don't just have no one.
That's the branch of the tree. You talking about the branch of the tree? The tree got many branches.
Yeah, it's many branches, like you said, man. So that's just one of the branches that I know, part of the branch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be good. So I remember you said you had an Ethiopian Bible, so that'd be good if you can really read through it and check it out. Check out because, like I say, I don't go. If you notice, I didn't say I knew. I said that the guy spoke on this about that, and all I knew is to go by what I knew of. When he got to a certain point, I said, okay, bam. I see when you know something like right now. You told me about a part of your family. When you get into something and you know something, you know when a flaw comes in that. You know when something distorted or something been changed. And you know what I'm saying? So I know the scriptures from where I know it, read it, and understand it to the point where, okay, I hear the change here and there. So I know that something is wrong or something different at this point in time. So that is the reason why I asked, and that's the reason why I just want to get a good understanding because I want to know and get a better understanding compared to what I don't know. So
Ethiopia had Judaism before Christianity, definitely, bro. Yeah, man. Historically, Judaism, you know, it had entered Ethiopia through the ancient trade routes, through the Queen of Sheba story.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Through Jewish communities in East Africa, through Beta Israel, which is the Ethiopian Jews. So yeah, man. Christianity, you know, it arrived from Saint Philip around the 1st century AD.
First century AD. Mm-hmm. Then that's when the Romans picked it up and claimed it.
Well, from like Coptic, from the coming from the Coptic side. Yeah, because they got the ancient, you know, the Coptic.
Mm-hmm.
First region where Christianity spread outside Judea. Yeah, so Egypt, that's where, you know, it first spread outside of Judea.
And that's where they got Horus, Haru, and Isis from.
Basically, and that's how they say Jesus, Mary, and, you know.
And Joseph.
All of that. So, You already know, man. Like a lot of these things are really just
allegory.
It's just the same stories here, bro. Like over and over, and they it's good. Like I said, the whole purpose is to really just get an understanding from it. You know what I mean? But it'd be nice to, like you said, to have it 100 stood as fact, 100%. You know, versus just saying, all right, I gotta look at it as allegory. You know, but yeah, man, it's just the more you know, the more we study. You know,
Yep.
Study more because you learn some more things. You get some more questions. You learn some more things. You get more questions. You learn some more things. You find out, yo, I still got more questions. You know what I'm saying? So you keep building. You know what I mean? I think that's the wise way to really look at things is like, yo, I don't know it all. This isn't the all. It doesn't end here. It doesn't end here. Because if knowledge is infinite, it can't end or begin right here.
No, it don't. But it gives you the basic information you know that you need in order to be in the position that you need to be in. When I went through my spiritual awakening, one thing that it speaks of that no man can deny. One thing that the scripture speaks of that no man can deny is about the anointing. And the reason I can say that because I went through it. So, and I know everybody haven't experienced it. So I understand what you mean by when you say certain things, certain people go through certain things, and I understand that. But I know what I went through when it came to my anointing, what I saw, what happened to me spiritually, what happened to me, the prophecies that happened with me that came to pass, and things like so. These things that I know.
Right, and that's why I say you can have righteousness whether you know this or not, because you got people that know this stuff in and out, but they not righteous. So that knowing
Right.
righteous either, because the devil know it and he ain't gonna do right by it. The devil knows the truth. That's how he tells the lie. So I mean, just because you know the truth doesn't make you righteous, bro.
You got to do it. There you go. You just said it.
Inward, like he was saying, is inward. It ain't about you knowing the truth. None of that. Because you can know it if you what good is knowing it if you ain't living.
There you go. But I'm with you 100% on that. But a lot of time people don't know it and they want to know, and that's what I was talking about from the beginning of the situation. When he said that, these people say they're Jews and are not, but then in that he said it's not. I don't want to put words in the mouth because you played it.
Bro, it was like maybe it's for those who know only, but like I caught it, bro. Like I didn't need no extra wordage. I understood exactly what he was meaning. You know what I mean? Even though he may not have worded it how you, like you said, it could have been worded maybe better in your opinion. You know what I'm saying? But like, nah, I caught it right off the top.
That's good. That's because
this is like something I need to clip.
Your intellect was on point when he said that. But only thing that I was just sharing that on this point is this. When he said that to me, I just think that because you got a lot of people say, put it like this. Let me just hit me, bam. A lot of people say, believe in Jesus and be saved, right? Now, the world, which the Romans gave to everybody, all you got to do is believe in Jesus and you saved. You just got to believe in Jesus and you saved. That's all you got to do, believe in Jesus. Does that really sound like?
That don't even make sense.
Thank you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But this is what's been going on.
Like believing in Santa Claus, just be like, come on, like.
But now you understand what I'm saying. That's the reason.
What you're saying, bro? I'm just saying, like, I hope you understand me when I'm saying, like, we don't need to. It's good to know these things, but it's more better to live it. You know what I'm saying? Than to just know it. Like, and when you live in it, you don't even. It's like it comes
like, natural.
Like, yeah, because it's like sometimes, bro, I got to answer the things I don't know how I know it. And now, if you want to talk about prophecy again, I guess that could be a form of prophecy. Because there's times where there's things I know the answer to, and I don't understand how I know the answer, bro.
That's the spirit, like you said, that's the inner light. But it's growing. You see what I'm saying?
It's like how the Wi-Fi is in the air with knowledge and data, and you can tap it if you can tune into it and you can pick it up like a radio wave or a frequency, like a thought wave. It's like I be tuned into it. I'm already in tune with things that I don't, I know them and don't even need to, like I said, like I don't want to make it sound like, you know what I'm saying, on something else, but like, yeah, man, like for real, it be like that. A lot of times it's just like things I know, and it's like, damn, how do I know this? And I don't recall doing like any particular, like picking up a book on this stuff, but I just know it. Like, you know what I'm saying? On a lot of things, it's been instances, a lot of instances.
Let me give you the answer to that. Just hit me. Let me give you the answer to what you just said. Just hit me. In the book, Isaiah 59, 50, hit me right here. Right here, 24, Isaiah 50, 65, and 24. It says, and it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. You see that? That's the universal consciousness going to give you your answer while you yet talking.
Yeah.
It says, and it shall come to, huh?
I was trying to get to, I was having a real deep night one night, and it was just like the whole, I was thinking so deep into the universe and just thinking about how much outer space expands for infinity, and it just made me feel so small and scared of, like, how is all of this existing? Like, how is all of this stuff here? Like, you know what I mean? Because, but, and then, so just even studying, like how we get any information, like, how do we even understand anything? Like, how do we get to understanding anything, bro? Like, when you really look at all of this stuff, like what foods to eat, how to eat, like what to eat, even just how to make fire, how to make anything, how to turn these materials into different things. Like, how did people come up with all of this information? And like you said, bro, it's just like that. Like, it just certain people, it came to certain people. Certain people was here to bring out certain parts of the piece of the puzzle. You know what I mean?
That universal consciousness for certain people that is meant for.
Well, yeah, to bring to the world, like you said, because it wasn't just for themselves personal. It's so that we can all, like you said, benefit from it. But like, you know, everybody brings, it's like a piece in the machine. You know, I don't hate to use the word the machine, but like, you know, like we all a part of this universe. We play, you know, we all an instrument in this universe. You know, the universe is in harmony, and we all play you know, have our role and play our notes to keep it, you know. Yeah, man. So it's like you said, you here for your cause. This is where you here. One of your reasons why, and you know, we all have you know, a lot of us, we try to answer, what's our purpose? You know, that's part of the question. What am I here for? Why am I here? What is this like? Why are we here? You know, we try to answer these type of questions, man. But yeah,
Well, if you ever get time, in Isaiah 65, starting verse 17 through 25, it talks about the new heaven and a new earth. A lot of people think it's going to be a new actual heaven and a new earth. Like you said, it's within you. That's going to be the new heaven and a new earth. The new heaven is going to be in the mind. The new earth is going to be the way you walk. Main thing we've been talking about this whole time. Say again?
Nah, like you said, the earth is your body. Like you said, because that's the soil. You made of, you know, even when you poop, that's the soil. You know, you soiled your pants. You soiled, you know, so you made of what you eat too, right? So it's like all of this stuff, you the soil, you are the earth. You know, your body represents the physical land, and the waters is in you. All of that, like the land, the water, all of the.
Just to add with what you just said, right after 24, I'm reading 24 and 25. This is the last two. 24, and I'm reading 25 for what you just said. It says, and it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Then it says, the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, which is coming. That's prophecy. Then it says, and the dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith Yah. and dust shall the earth serpents meet. What did you just say? This right here is dust. We don't see it as dust, but this is what we made of, right?
Stardust, all of that. And it's stardust, too. Everything, like you said, because we come from the stars as well, G. So it's like, yeah, man, that's how we got that light. That's why it's like we are stars. Like you hear Hollywood crowd call people stars. Like we're stars. We're all stars. We're light. Like you said, we're points of light. We're beings of light. Light beings here, light bodies, all of that, man. Like we everything.
We are of the universe, and I look at, we all are like the earth walking around in this universe. Because, our bodies is just like the regular earth. Our bodies are like 70 to 75% water. Blood cells and brain cells made of 90% water. Each and every one of us is no different. We're just like the regular earth walking around. It's like we are different earths, stars, walking around in the universe.
When they say, you was talking about the hermetic, what did you say, the hermetic?
The Hammurabi Code?
Yeah, the hermetic laws in the Hammurabi. Yeah, the hermetic, that's one of the hermetic laws, I think, is as above, so below. So that's like the macrocosm and the microcosm. You know what I mean? The macrocosm is like the big everything, the whole universe, but then the microcosm of the universe is like a cell, the atom. It's just like the mini solar system. You know what I mean? So everything is as it is above.
So it is below. Everything. If you look at quantum physics, that's what you're explaining.
Yep, same thing, bro. It's really deep, bro. When you really start thinking about it like that, bro, it's kind of scary because it's like, damn, bro, like what is this? Like we in the physical, then we gonna be in somewhere like.
But that's a very deep level for people who have no understanding. That's why I try to keep stuff on the main on a level where people can get an understanding. Then I take them there, but I try to get everybody to understand things on a physical level.
Yeah, you got to bring it down to earth, like you said. Keep it on earth before you go to the heavens. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to focus on the heavens and all of that, but they can't make sense of what's going on right here and
there you go.
Earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Start from here, from the foundation where we at. Then you take it. Then you take it to outer space.
And that's what people think. And when they talk about we're gonna be living in heaven, it's not talking about the physical heaven. It's talking about the heavenly places right here in the mind.
Exactly, because heaven is what is like you said, in the mental is how you live there. The halo. That's why you see that halo.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? That's when you in heaven. They got that halo, that crown chakra. Or in hell, you got the devilish horns. You know what I'm saying? It's all up in the mental. But yeah, like even Killer Priest, I like how he used to say on matter of fact, that song called Bible, Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. You ever heard that?
Yep.
About a Killer Priest, yeah.
Basic instruction before leaving Earth. Yep, I heard that.
But it says in that song, the Earth is already in space. That's deep how a lot of people be like, I remember when I first heard that, it's like you think, yeah, we're going to go to outer space, but it's like, right, the Earth is already in space. Already in space. Like, what are you talking about going to outer space?
And you know what? I actually even shared. Let me hit one thing for you real quick. As a matter of fact, we're coming into it soon. But this right here is something I had shared in one of my in one of the information, Absalom murdered by, okay, bam, it's coming up right here. I can't turn right to it. Right here. Dang, it's right here. Check it out. This is 2 Samuel chapter 17. We're going to get there in about 2 more weeks, I believe. Yeah, about 2 or 3 weeks, because right now we get ready to start in 14. But this is chapter 18, 2 Samuel chapter 18, verse 9. It says this. This is how people don't realize space. This is the heavens right here. This is space right here. It says, Absalom murdered by Joab. It says, and Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and a mule went under the thick boughs of an oak, and his head and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken between the heaven and the earth. And the mule that was under him went away. So when he got caught in the boughs of the oak tree, the mule went away, and he's sitting in the heavens. He between the heavens. He's sitting in heaven, and the earth is the ground. So people don't even walk. No, we walk around in heaven now, physically, but mentally, we're going to be in the real heavens because we don't have to worry about crime. We don't have to worry about them cops messing with us. It's going to be I'm already there, truthfully. I'm already in that position. But it's a lot of things that the scriptures speak of metaphorically that people don't understand. Everybody looking at the scriptures physically and they don't see it spiritually or mentally, which is metaphorically. So on certain things. A lot of stuff is physical, or should I say, is real physical, but it's a lot of things spirit. That's why when I go through it on the Sabbath, and when I go through the scriptures, I show the difference between what happened at that time compared to what's going on today. I show the difference. But hey, like I said, I bring it to the people. It's up to them to accept it or reject it.
Well, the main thing is that you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you living it inward. That's the main thing first. Always, self is for, that's the foundation of your universe. Is you. You know what I'm saying? So before everybody else get involved, you gotta make sure you involved. So that's the main thing. If everybody else don't get it, sometimes you're not the voice. Sometimes somebody else might be the voice for for a different person.
That's right.
Sometimes you can say something and don't get across, and then your wife say something, and everybody understands.
Right on point. And I understand that.
Yeah.
I totally understand it.
Yeah.
But I try to give it to them as simple as possible where they can get it.
Yeah, but it's called what's called like chemistry. Sometimes certain just things, people, even though they maybe don't listen, it's a tone of voice or how you say. We all like in a certain music styles and certain, presentation of books or sway movies, certain styles of things. So it's like style. It could be that. It could be a lot of different reasons why, or like you said, they're just straight up being ignorant. You know what I mean? But
Sometime on purpose.
oh, for sure, man. Like you said, some people they just never gonna get it. They keep going back and forth, like we said earlier. No matter how many times they go to jail, they just gonna not catch on. Like how long? You know what I mean? You're gonna just be an old fool. Like you know what I mean? Not only are you a fool, but you're an old fool now. Like you just keep getting older and dumber instead of just like they say, as you get older, you're supposed to get wiser. But some people they actually just become old fools, which is very sad. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, you've been here long enough to know better, and you should know better. But like you said, they just, I don't know, they stuck on, like my mom would say shit like stuck on stupid. Like they just stuck on stupid. Like just stuck on being stupid. Because it's like, I can't understand how somebody would not get it. I mean, I get sometimes I've gone through the same situation a few times before I finally realized to stop doing this or stop getting into this scenario or whatever like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, damn, some people they just never really they never really learn. Like it's like crazy, man. Like especially when it's something deep, like losing years of your life to go to jail. Like, come on, man. Like but it can be psychological too. Like at a certain point with that. You know what I mean? Some people I read something that says that it's like dealing with psychology and like self-sabotage. Some people they're so used to the trauma of being in that position of going through the struggle and being down that when now they finally have a chance to be better and do right, they kind of like self-sabotage themselves because they're not used to that change. They don't. I forgot how he broke it down, but like exactly from a psychological standpoint of just people who cling to that going back to jail shit versus, you know, it's like they self-sabotage their own self. When everything was going well, they've been so used to just being down and things going bad so much that they go revert and just cause they like being in that suffering or something. You know, it's crazy, bro. That's another thing it's important to study is the psychology of shit too, bro. How we talked about history, but psychology is the reason behind the behavior. You know what I mean? The history will teach you the origins and stuff, but like when you get into the psychology of things, you understand why the behavior, why people say things, why they do things, or even when somebody's writing something, like even writing, you can see the psychology of behind sort of shit to see if somebody has an alternative, like how we talked about the victors usually rewrite the history. You know what I mean? So like if they have a psychological agenda behind rewriting the history, when you understand psychology, you'll be able to see, oh, this is definitely a lie, and the reason why is because this empire, and in conjunction with history, we realize that this is the empire that won, so they are, you know, they wanted to pose as this, you know what I mean, versus this is what was going on at the time, and these people existed, but they, you know, wiped their whole history out. You know, it's kind of like when you think about, you know, how you talk about a lot of people don't know the history here. You know what I mean? Because it's like how Martin Luther King said they was robbed of their history. They was wiped clean. It was straight up. They wiped their whole history. You know what I mean? Now, if you get into that, you know, at one time people would think that slavery is their only history. You know what I mean? And so you had certain teachers come and teach that, you know, like Dr. Ben and everybody who go and teach you Africana studies, and then was kings and great kings in Ethiopia and Kush and all of these, you know, different places and stuff like that. You start to learn that there's more to your story than just. But now you see the psychological reason why this man will keep presenting you roots, and you know what I mean.
Let me share something with you real quick about the psychological and about people being taken away from their heritage, right?
Yeah, and then that goes in with history. See how they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Psalms 83, start 1. It says, keep not thou silent, O Yah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Creator, God. For lo, thine enemies, we got to understand who the Creator's enemies is, verse number 1. Thine enemies make a torment, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, his people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be in no more in remembrance. That was before we came back into who we were. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They're confederate against the Creator. Then it's going to tell you the people. The tabernacle of Edom, which is the Caucasians up to date, far as I'm concerned, are the ones in power, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, that's verse 6, verse 7, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot. Those are the Moors. They have kept the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, and at the brook of Kidron, which perished in what mainly talk more about that. But mainly this is talking about us, them taking our heritage. This is talking about our heritage and what was told what was going to end up happening to us. That's in Psalms chapter 83, 1 through, what's that, 1 through 7, 1 through 8? Yeah, 1 through 7, 8, or 9. But 1 through 5, it talks about what happened with us. And this is written in the scriptures in the book that talks about what happened to us as a people and what they did. They planned on us at that time. And then in Joab, it talked about what they did as well. In Job 2, no, it was Job 3. In Joab 3, it talked about another portion of what happened to us as a people. Where we at, right? Nope, this is past Ezekiel. Here we go. That's Joel. It's Joab, not Joel. Or was it Joel? I'm saying Joab. I think it was Joel. Yep, it was Joel. Joel chapter 3, verse 3, 6, and 7, it says, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and have sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. That's in Joel chapter 3, verse 3, and then verse 6 and 7 says, verse 5, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, what they have done all across the world, took all the created gold and silver, and these Caucasians have them everywhere. Verse 6, the children also of Judah, the Jews, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, the Greeks, that ye may remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of their place, whether ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. That's prophecy. That's going on today. They sold our people. This is what's going on today. And they sold them to the Grecians, which is the Greeks and the Romans. So all this stuff is prophecy about what has happened and what's going on in this day and time. So I just want that. I mean, when you just speaking, that just came to my mind about it's a lot of things in the scriptures that the Creator spoke through his prophets to let things be known. But sometimes you have to go to those scriptures to find out what it is you need to know. But you'll never know. We'll never know. Or anybody never know if they don't read and find out.
The angle of it too that you got to study from is like how it talks about the enemy. Now, so when you strategist, I was watching this one dude. He was like lecturing on like China and Russia and how they like just like at one time like the little issues they was having or whatever like that, and he was breaking down how to like look at your enemy from a standpoint. So it's good to study, the enemy side of the story.
That's true.
Because it's psychological warfare too, you know what I mean? And so it's like that sometimes they also use psychological warfare, but like at the same time you want to study your enemy and understand how he is thinking, why he's thinking this way, why is he my enemy, why is he doing these types of things to me, what is the psychology behind it? Because again, everybody does something for a reason. They think something for a reason. They come to these conclusions all based on the psychological. So it's like, yeah, man, like if you study the enemy inside of it too, that's a whole, because we focus a lot about the righteous side and just, doing the right thing and following the law of the Creator and everything like that. But I think another thing that helps you
is to know your enemy, right?
Exactly, because it says it in G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle.
Right. Now, to answer that one, on that point of view, the reason why the world, it's only been it's really going to end up, let me put it like that. The full spectrum of the whole situation going to end up on 2 points, according to scripture. Now, like you said, know your enemy. Genesis 27, verse 39 to 40 give you the understanding and the answers to what you said about the reason why we're going through this situation and our enemy. It says, and Isaac, verse 39, Genesis 27, 39 says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto Esau, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. But this is the key. And by thy sword shalt thou live. This is by war. Sword is another word for war. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, which is the earth, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. He got the dominion, and that's why he's in power now. But this is where it said in Genesis 25, when the creator had already pronounced to Rebekah, the elder is going to serve the younger. But the elder got the earth first. That's why I said, and by thy sword should thou live. Everywhere you go, this is how I like to say Esau took over. He took over everywhere he went. We all know about he gave the people the book and took the land. He took the land and gave the people what they used to, the natives used to say, they have us close our eyes, and he gave us a book, and when they opened our eyes, he then took the land. That's what happened in time past, but this is how they did. They do it by war. If they can't negotiate and take it by war.
Right. What's the psychology? Why can't he share the land? You get what I'm saying? Why does he have to control and have it all to himself? Why is he selfish?
Because that's his prophecy. That's his nature.
But it just that's what I'm trying to say. It's like we gotta study it down to a deeper level also.
That's his nature. Think about it.
Yeah, of course that's his nature, but again, even though it's his nature, it's a psychology. Like even Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she would talk about, why the Albion, like you said, why the Albion, why he likes to use weapons a lot. You know what I'm saying? These guns, these big guns. You know what I mean? Because deep down against the original man, he has penis envy and shit like that. Like, because the guns kind of represent the size of a penis and things. Like, it's deep like that, bro. Like.
But even though, why does they have the envy? I mean, why is it envious?
Because you know that we more potent, powerful things of these natures. The potency of the penis, like you said, is the phallus. Even in that story of the Set, how he chops off the penis of Osiris. You know what I'm saying? There's things of this nature.
They chopped them up in many different pieces and spread them out. But yeah, the penis as well.
Phallus was you know what I'm saying? That's like the obelisk. You know what I'm saying? And things of the nature's like it's deep, bro, symbolic, like.
Yeah, but let me ask you something though, bro. Let me ask you a question. Why would I be jealous of another man's penis if I'm not looking at it? I don't know what another man got between his legs.
Nah, but they did because of slavery. They do know what was between the original men. You know what I'm saying? That's why they were studying them out. Things not to be, you know what I mean? But she breaks this down in her book, The ISIS Papers. And ironically, it's called The ISIS Papers. You know what I'm saying? So, because, ISIS, she had to put Osiris back together. She had sex with him real quick and had Heru.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
yep.
Like I said, this is all connected, bro. It's not even like accident that these things make sense and connect to each other. But like, yeah, man, it took somebody who's like you said, not paying no attention, just looking at it like not even having no understanding of anything. They gonna be like, what are you talking about? Penis and guns and like what is this?
That's why we have obelisks all around the country.
Well, those are like Jedi's pillars. The obelisk was like a Jedi's pillar, like a battery. Like the Jedi, you know how they call it the Jedi, the sword lightsaber.
Yep.
All of these different things, multiple symbologies, though. Like, yeah, the potent, the energy, light. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I told you guys, because we bring children, we brought life to the planet. Woman can carry the egg, but we actually have the seed of life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they're the oval. They're the earth. That's why they are the earth. Because the earth, they carry the seeds. The earth carries all the seeds of life.
Well, they carry the egg. We carry the seed.
What I mean, they carry it in the soil. I'm saying how a woman carries your
seed. It's like we plant the seed in the soil. They're the soil. we carry the seed to plant that we plant in order for the fertilizer to grow.
Yeah, well, what I mean is like buried. They buried in the soil. They buried in their tummy, in their, you know what I mean, in their womb. You know, they carry, like she said, I carry for 9 months. You know, that's what I mean. But like you said, yeah, we hold the seed. We are the ones who actually possess the seed of life in us. We're the cream of life. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know, we have the cream that rises to the top. You know what I mean? It rises to the top of the woman, and you know what I'm saying? And that's how, you know, you create civilization. You know what I'm saying? That's how we the mothers and fathers of civilization. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, all of this stuff is very important. You know what I mean? And it's like the more you know, the more you're gonna grow.
Yeah. But to me, I think the most important thing to me, I think the most important thing is to study the Creator's laws, grow in His laws. By studying His laws, growing His laws, and knowing what the end outcome is, which is Israel, is going to be over the earth because Israel is who He made His promise with. And if He made His promise with Israel, first blood covenant, and then He made a spiritual covenant, which is everybody's waking up to today. When you get into that spiritual covenant, that's the bottom line of it all. So the spiritual covenant is understanding His word in order to be a part of that covenant. So by studying the spiritual covenant, which is His law, which becomes spiritually a part of you, that's the that's the mastery of it all. All the other stuff is really on the outside of what's going to keep a person on the outside of the kingdom. The kingdom is studying His laws and keeping His ways. The system has already programmed the world, like we said earlier. That sounds stupid. To believe on Jesus, because He died for your sins and all this other stuff that me and you already know, no different, just like Horu.
You end up correlating everything that you read into the actual world that ain't in the book. So it's like we have to look at everything because the universe is everything. God is everything. So it's like you got to study it all. Like you got to look at everything because all of it helps you put it together.
That's what I'm saying. Just like we understand about Horus, Haru, and Isis. Right. So that's exactly what I'm saying. You have to study everything, but once you come to the conclusion to understand,
All you gotta do is do right, not go left. That's it. Going left means you straight away. All you do.
that's all I'm saying when it comes to the law. You yourself even said we know not to murder nobody.
Away from it.
We know not to
You know how
lay down with somebody else's wife. We know not to.
Because we start seeing other people get, you know, oh, they did it. That got away with it.
And there you go.
Like you start doing the right thing, but then the more you start to be around peers or.
And that's what I'm talking about, bro. And that's when you start, like you said, if you start studying everything else, but you was already on track. We already know it's in you not to murder nobody, not to mess around nobody's wife. That's already in you. So then it's other stuff there too that we don't know about.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I'm around all of this stuff, but I'm not going doing it. So that's what I'm saying is once you get that solid in your foundation, once that becomes solid and you sound in that jewel right there, you will go the farthest because, like you said, no one can take you off your square because you so in your on that degree of like, yo, I don't gotta do as the world. Like they say, be in the world, but not
of the world, right?
Yeah,
but how will a person to know if they're not of the world? How would they know they're not of the world if they're in it? But how would they know they're not of the world? And how would they find and understand that?
not things that people are doing. You just live. Yeah, you living in the world. You going to work. You might be hanging around with people that do drink and things that they do. But when you make all your moves, because like how we just said, everything is inwardly on you. Everything is reflects upon you. You're responsible, and for yourself only. You're only responsible for you, not for what everybody else is.
I agree.
So
I agree.
that and you solid in that, then yeah, you could be around everyone and know that yeah, I'm not gonna be in trouble for what these people did. And like you said, as long as you at least doing your part to try to help people. I mean, you can't go around being on the soapbox preaching to people, but like, yeah, you just, you in your little ways, just by you being you, doing your daily living lifestyle, your people gonna see you. They might ask you questions. You allow yourself to give them answers. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Other
So
than that,
so what I would do, I would say, but to me, I would leave it with this. I'd be like, this right here would give me the conclusion. Besides Ecclesiastes, the few verses in Ecclesiastes, the last chapter. But when I hear in Malachi 3, verse 16 through 18, it states, then they that fear Yah, or feared the Creator, or feared the universe, how you want to say it, spake often one to another, and the Creator Yah hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Creator, the Almighty, and that thought upon His name, which I always say is the law. And they shall be mine, saith the Creator of hosts. In that day, when I make up my jewels, these are the people that He's going to be pulling together as His jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, and between them or him that serveth the Creator and him that serveth him not. And to me, that whole situation is according to the law.
nah, you know exactly who to waste your time on. Like, you know who not to, like, even bother with trying to tell them something, not to do the wrong thing, because they already just gonna be stuck on doing it. But then you know it's people that may not, like you said, they just need a little example for you to show them of the way, and then so they more receptive. But
Right.
some people just don't even waste your time saying nothing to them because they stuck on.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
So that's what that was talking about. That's talking about the people who you already know which side they done chose. So it's like, why even waste your time trying to, it's like when somebody that made their choice, that's, you understand that. But then when it's somebody who you can kind of tell is just trying to figure things out, those are the people you try to,
Try to reach.
put the breadcrumbs out for them so that they can try to, start to figure out where they going.
Yeah, definitely. We about an hour and 32 minutes in. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Nah, I said it pretty much all, bro. It's the same stuff over and over and over.
Yeah, but it was a good conversation we had tonight. Just to get better clarity of just understanding of thoughts of information. You know what I'm saying? Better clarity on thoughts of information that we just coming up with, seeing what just seeing what we're talking about tonight. Well, it looked like my boy Kedia Richardson was in on Facebook for a quick minute.
Oh, bro, just like as long as you stay on positivity, it's simple. You feel good, right? When things is doing, you don't feel good when you like say you're like a person that's just not doing the right thing, and you know how it feels when you ain't been doing the right thing. Maybe you had homework to do, you didn't do it. You don't feel good about doing your homework, not doing it. But when you did your homework and you studied and you get good on your tests and all of that, you feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? When you eat right and take care of yourself, and you see your body look nice, and you can look at yourself and feel good about
Yep.
you.
That's the spirit within at that time. It actually vibrating from inside out.
Exactly. Then you see a crackhead, look at them. They look terrible. They probably feel terrible on the inside.
Because they're breaking their bodies down. Dang, I'm shutting down on Facebook. Facebook shutting down. Yeah. And let me go ahead and pull out a couple of others about to shut down in a minute. But hey, it was good conversation we had tonight.
Nah, man, that's how they come every showing up. Just go with the flow, bro.
There you go. But other than that, I'd like to share that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be, waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And other than that, me and G1 had a nice conversation tonight, just sharing information on different conversations of different things. But this is open conversation every Sunday, the night after Sunday, should I say, at 9 p.m., starting at 9 p.m. until this is the end of part 2 of open conversation tonight. And if anybody like to get in contact with me, first, before I do that, let me go ahead out. I almost forgot yesterday. I'm going to go out correctly tonight. Yesterday, I almost went out, and I had to catch myself at the last moment. I got to do the benediction and give the Shema before we pull out. And thank you, Father. Pull right to it. So, we get ready to end with the benediction, and then we're going to do the Shema, and then we get ready to give the information for how to get back in contact with anybody is interested. So right now, this is the priestly benediction, and this is in Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee, and give thee peace. And they shall put Yah's name upon the children of Israel, which is his law, and Yah will bless them. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekevo, Vakuto Violam, Vaed, Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for the word, for your guidance and your spirit that you share with us as you are with us. Rest you keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others. And we thank you for all you've done, been doing, and plan on doing. Your holy word, spirit, and all things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 All right. Now, if anybody like to get back in contact with me, you can always call or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. You can also email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. All right. And now also just want to share with you, if you like to check out part 1 and part 2 of the different programs that we have on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. That's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. On YouTube, you can catch us on YouTube Live. That's YouTube Live at Juice Pro 33. That's JUICE PRO 33. That's JUICE PRO 33 on YouTube Live. You can see, excuse me, now I'm saying I'm starting to yawn again, excuse me. You can see us part 1 and part 2 of the different information that we're sharing. Also, on Instagram, you can see part 1 and part 2 on Instagram as well. And you can check us out on Instagram at L'chaim_the Juice, which is spelled LKHYYM_THEJUICE. That's LKHYYM_THEJUICE. YYM underscore THEJUICE. All right. And also you can catch us on Facebook. Excuse me. On Facebook at MI apostrophe CHAEL space LKHYYM. I'm sorry. MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. That's Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS on Facebook. Now those are for part one and part two on those three channels. But if you want to see the full version, which is loaded from Zoom, you can catch us on YouTube on at the same thing we shared earlier, which is Juice Pro 33. Please like, subscribe, and share to Juice Pro 33, which is JUICE PRO 33. Again, JUICE PRO 33. And you can also catch us, like, subscribe, and share on YouTube there, please. And you can also catch us on Twitter, or shall I say X, formerly known as Twitter, which is still under Juice Pro 33, which is JUICE PRO 33. Again, JUICE PRO 33. You can also catch us on rumble.com. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. And also Patreon. Excuse me. Patreon.com. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM. Patreon.com/LKHYYM. Now, you can also catch us on TikTok. My TikTok is the same as one of them anyway. It's the same as Instagram, which is you put in the search engine on TikTok at Lakaim underscore the Juice, which is LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. Again, that's at in the search engine LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. My second TikTok is Michael the Juice Harris, which is spelled, put the at sign, and MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, that's at sign in the search engine, and MICHAELTHEJUICE. Now, that's for all the platforms. Now, if you'd like to connect with me on Zoom, we're on 4 nights a week on the Zoom. And tonight being the first night, being in the second night of the week, which is the night after Sunday, which is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. And we're here every night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we're here on the night after Monday. I say night after because after the day is gone, it's the night, you're in the night at 9 p.m. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Time on night after Monday. Night after Monday is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, night after Monday. There you can always get on. Where you can get on any of the platforms, but you can get on Zoom if you connect with me as well. Now, that's night after Monday at 9 p.m. for Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Now, night after Tuesday, which is Introductory to Solving Class of Knowledge. We're here on Zoom only because it's private. If anybody want to get in contact or want to come and get on, you're welcome to come. If you text me, I already gave you my information. If you text me your name, number, and email, I will place your name, or shall I say your email, in my Google Calendar. It's going to come up in your your email, and then I will place you in all of my groups, and all you have to do is accept them. Once you accept them, all the information will be in your calendars. All you have to do is accept them, and you'll be in your calendar. Then, if you like to come on any one of the Zooms, you'll have them in your calendar, and you can go there. You will get a notification. You can go to your calendar, or you can be able to get them from your email. Come in just by clicking the link. All right, and that's on Tuesdays. You can do it for each one, but Tuesday Zoom only, and that is called the night. That night is called Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge. That's Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge. If you're interested, and that's at 6 p.m. On Tuesday. Is night now because we late in the season. So it's night now. Usually be in the spring. What spring on up is in the evening, but it's now at night. So at 6 p.m. And last but not least, we have on the Sabbath, which is what they call Saturday. On the Sabbath, we have Assembly of the Righteous. That's at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Time. All of them Eastern Time. 12 p.m. noon Eastern Time. Assembly of the Righteous. All right. So just have those. We have those. And if you're interested, you're welcome to come in. Text me your name, number, and email, which I did leave that at the beginning. And if you text me your name, number, and email, I will put you in. You can connect and go from there. Other than that, I thank everyone for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. Thank G1 for the conversation tonight, open conversation. And anybody, I hope you can get whatever you get out of the information. I hope it's pertinent and important for you from what you heard. Other than that, I thank y'all for y'all time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. So G1, I'm gonna see you hopefully tomorrow night, if so. But I'm going to take you off first. So I'll go ahead and get off of Instagram and YouTube Live, and we'll talk tomorrow, bro. Hopefully. All right. Peace and love, my brother. Peace. Yeah, I heard you say peace.
Recording stopped.
Yeah. And there we go. Other than that, I'm going to say bye to Instagram over here. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon and always. Peace. And for YouTube Live, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. Have a great night and always. Peace.